So I'm back here, guys. I'm in Vegas. It is Thursday the 26th. The USA just got in. They advanced, even though they lost the match. So what kind of sport is it where they can lose the match?
It's they're selling for mediocrity. That's why I don't like soccer. And yes, guys, it's called soccer. There's a reason why we don't call it football in the US.
Football. So now, if do you know who this is? If you don't know, then you haven't been on DonBest.com. Kelly in Vegas. Now, I believe we are in Las Vegas.
We are.
We're at Joe's. It's Caesar's Palace in the Forum Shop. And a few weeks ago, you saw me do a video with Eddie J, who is one of the handicappers on your site.
Yes.
And now I'm sitting here with Kelly because we're partnering up this football season, which is, everybody acts like it's far away, but as you know, they just had in Grind at the rundown June 13th with the 100 top NCAA football games with
everybody's looking at season win totals. Everybody's looking at, the schedule is like, I just went on vacation for 10 days and the entire car rides, I was like,
I tried to get you to do a video, that wasn't happening.
No, we were a little bit in the middle of nowhere, but.
So what I wanted to talk about is this season, just like Eddie posts plays on DonBest.com as well as on your site, and then also you post the plays on DonBest as well as KellyInVegas.com. You also make, after you post those plays, because of the time difference, me being an East Coaster that comes here every 3 weeks, you make your plays, but then you also have late plays that you'll play after the fact, correct?
I mean, everybody's got late plays. Sometimes you get that late information. Sometimes you decide that you're going to get the right number. It just happens. You can't always control.
So you have a small
6 to 8 hours beforehand.
Right. You have a small percentage of clients that you text these plays to now currently.
I get quite a few text messages. Kelly, what do you think about this game? What do you think? Kickoffs in 45 minutes. Let me know. Tell me where you're at.
So the bottom line is we're streamlining all the late telephone action directly through me, John, at johnsyndicate.com, where she's going to still offer all of her clients the main plays on the sites, but the late plays that she plays herself personally at the window, where you will go large, as she's known to go, don't let her being a female fool you. She's laughing, but it is amazing in an industry that I would say is 90% men.
99% men.
99% men. She stands amongst the few. She'll bang him with both fists and really put a fear in some sports books. I mean, you told me on some of your golf plays, you've actually gotten shut down. You can't even make a play.
I've had a couple of guys tell me, I don't think I'm going to take your golf action anymore.
That is absolutely amazing. I mean, I'll have to keep that in mind next year at the Masters. But in all seriousness, we're talking big money here, guys, big stakes in Vegas. And what I wanted to cover in a short period of time is people ask when they see your videos on DonBest, because as I do some of the YouTube videos which are not edited and they're not pretty, even though as you see, she's still pretty without the full editing. Are you a model? Do you really handicap the games? Are you just a pretty face that's being paid from a modeling agency to just stick in front of a screen, and then there's just some 45-year-old, 50-year-old, 60-year-old guy like Einstein behind the camera when you go 67%? What's the real deal?
It's funny because I think if they're going to hire a model, they should hire a younger, better-looking model.
How do we go 67%? Is your dad picking the winners?
No, God no. My dad cannot pick football games. I will say that. But it came about 5-7 years ago, where I just realized I had a knack for picking games. You learn how to handicap, you learn the math behind it, the statistics and the trends, and you go through, we're talking about 40 games on a Saturday, Sunday, just flipping through, and these are you can find 10 really strong plays, no problem.
Now you have a money management system, you don't flat bet every game.
Right, and everybody should have a bankroll system, I hope you all do. I do 1 to 5 units. I don't ever have a big bomb play like
game
a lot of these
guys.
Game of the year, that's not really my style. Honestly, there's games that I really, really like, and I'm going to tell you, hey, this is one of my favorite games, but everybody's different. Your money is your money. Now, that would be me lying saying I wouldn't bet 10 units on a game, 20 units on a game.
Right.
I've done it a lot. But those are usually plays that I don't give out because I don't want someone to hurt their bankroll. You know what I mean? For me,
you're willing to take the greater risk.
I am, and I have customers that want that risk, and I tell them, hey, what did you bet on this game? All right, I bet $2,500 on this game. You're crazy. Yep.
So this is the bottom line, guys. It's money management. Like I say in my video with Brian, money management is the key, but the reality is when you see people in Vegas that do this for a living on a consistent basis, they can be old, they can be young, they can be male, they can be female. And the reality is, I've gotten, I'd say probably over the course of the year of dealing with you, 300-400 text messages, pretty face in front of the camera. There's just
I get that all the time.
no way she can be picking these games. It's impossible. I've never seen.
Next video will come and you guys can sit there and you can sit at my desk full
So
of papers.
we know
and
there's
two
some
computer
debate.
screens.
We know there's some debate powers that be. We won't mention any names. Wanted you to do more videos last year. Wanted you in the camera, in front of the camera more. And your big issue was you spend how many hours a week handicapping?
Well, when I kind of got into the business last year, it was, well, we need 40 hours a week of your time. Okay, no problem. So there's 5 hours shooting videos and doing blog posts. Well, I do 35 to 40 hours a week capping games, and they didn't quite understand that that's what I do.
So
it's important to me that my customers win, because if they don't win, I don't win. I'm sitting there betting the same things all of them are betting. So not only did my customers lose, now I lost. Now I'm twice as pissed.
So let me ask you this question. Are you manually capping with a pen and a paper? Are you looking at computers? You're doing a combination
It's
of
a
both?
combination of both. I mean, you'll sit there and you'll look at my scribbles on multiple sheets of paper. I've got 2 different computer screens, an iPad, a cell phone. I'm texting people. I'm figuring out. I get a lot of, living in Vegas, I get a lot of inside information that a lot of people don't have access to.
Now, when she says that, guys, don't text me. I want Kelly's fixed plays. We're not talking about
No, it's not even
international fixed
No,
soccer
no,
games
no.
here.
I'm talking like, okay, I went to Kansas State. I still know 1,000 people in that town. Do you not think that the information about a hurt player, I mean, Bill Snyder is like this about anybody. Do you think that information, I mean, I knew Daniel Sams was transferring to Louisiana 3 months before everybody else did, all because one of my buddies there got a phone call from a little D2 school and said, hey, did you hear this? Did you hear he's transferring? And he called me and said, did you hear this? And I said, no, I didn't. A couple months later, there it is. He's not playing. And now, does that matter as far as a handicap perspective? No, but it's the same lines. It's the same thing. It's like, hey, did you know that, Tyler Lockett, he pulled his hamstring in practice yesterday? All right, thanks. Just, just little bits and pieces of information.
Little edges here, little edges there.
And growing up in that football system, and underneath Bill Snyder, there's a huge coaching tree. I met a lot of people. I went to high school with their kids. It's very easy for me to text people and say, hey, will you ask your dad this? Because they have no idea who I am or what I'm doing. And that's kind of where I'm kind of scared about this whole relationship, is because I like to kind of stay under the radar. I don't want, my friend's dad who coaches for the Atlanta Falcons to know that that's why I want to know why Roddy White's hurt.
Well, it's not like anybody's going to be watching this video but me and her, because nobody goes to kellyinvegas.com, but just a couple 100,000 sports bettors on an annual basis in football. It's not like there's an ad on donbest.com and you'll post it on the website weekly, wink, wink. But, listen, the reality is you're one person, you're one individual. You can't deal with a million individual people texting you, messaging you. You need those hours to do the work
my
yourself.
My phone's dead by 10 a.m. on college football.
Well, I know. I
Saturday.
tried to text you this morning. You didn't answer. And you were just watching the USA game, trying to root that bet in. You can't win them all. We'll just leave it at that. You can't supply. There's 2 components of the handicapping business: personalized service to the player, but that can cost you in terms of doing the work yourself if you're not an automated handicapper. Some handicapping companies have a staff of people doing the work.
Absolutely.
You do the SEC, you do the ACC, you do the Big 10, you do the Big 12, and then you have someone like yourself. You want to do it all personally.
No,
So
I absolutely
you don't want to farm it out.
Again, this all started with me betting my own plays. I never had any idea that you could sell your plays, that people would want my plays. And it all started on Twitter. Well, how do I get your plays? Why aren't you selling your
Because
plays?
you just went on Twitter for fun and started posting your opinion.
Well, I went on Twitter because I had to for work initially. They said you have to have a social media account. I'm like, this thing is weird. I don't get it. And I got in there and I met a couple other people, and I would post my plays every Saturday. And when people started realizing I was winning, I was over at Don Best. They're like, why aren't you selling your plays? Well, I didn't quite realize that I had the ability to do so.
So let me ask you this question, then we'll wrap it up here as we're approaching the 10-minute mark. How's your success versus college versus NFL?
You know what? College football is my bread and butter. I cannot wait. It's like 72 days, I think.
Right.
I cannot wait.
She cannot wait for
college
me
football
not to have a life.
No, I'm not
That's
going to have a
what
life
she's saying.
either. I mean,
You
between
told me how many hours do you sleep a day?
during college football, I would say like 2 or 3. On a college football Saturday, I'm
Here
getting
this
no
guy's
sleep.
a woman. We're talking about a woman, not a woman that's mad that her husband's in front of the TV. She's telling her male friends, get in front of the TV.
It is funny. I get that question a lot from guys. Oh my God, you know how awesome it'd be to date someone like you? I'm like,
Right, leave me alone. Call me on Monday, right?
I'm like, I don't think it's quite that
but in all
simple.
seriousness, do you find? I know you do bet NFL, and I know you handicap NFL, but you kind of scurried that question. Is it just that much harder?
You know what? The NFL has a lot of. I feel like the NFL has a lot tighter lines.
Right.
There's a lot less games, so it gives me lots less opportunity to find those games. I mean, you guys are going to be like, why am I betting Louisiana Lafayette against KU?
Right.
Well-
But there's an edge.
Exactly.
And
It's 'cause
I always say that often those schools that are often overlooked by the general public, not the top 25 teams.
college basketball, IPFW.
Yeah, which I talked about with Brian every week and made a fortune. of it. I made a fortune.
It was.
I made a fortune.
I
of it.
mean, and I didn't even. They didn't even come across my radar. One of my handicappers, Matt, said, "Kelly, have you ever thought about?"
You know, Matt might have been watching one of my videos.
Yeah, he said, "Have you ever looked at this team?" And I started looking, and they had won. They'd
Now, what
covered
does
like
IPFW
12
stand for? Now, I won't put you on the spot.
Indiana,
Purdue,
Fort Wayne.
Exactly.
Isn't that bad? We actually
Exactly.
we were laughing about it because Pat Williams over at Don Best called him ooey pooey, and I go, "No, that's the other Indiana,
Right,
Purdue.
exactly.
I don't know where they are."
Right, exactly. And the reality is, if there's a line on a game, either side can win. And people call me all day long and they say, well, I can't get this game on TV. I can't follow the score. Look, your betting is a business, back to my video, and which is betting is a business 101. So again, my job this year is to add top minds in the industry to my arsenal, whether it be male, whether it be female, and KellyInVegas.com, adding to the checklist. So stay tuned for more. Football is only 72 days away.
Yes.
And I do know one thing, it will be cooler than it is now.
Yes.
107 and rising in 72 days.
And I'm excited. God,
We'll talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.